Hi friends, it's Rene here. I'm on my 4th time trying to record this video. That's probably why I don't do many videos. Actually, if I didn't have to edit, I would do a lot more videos. But anyways, I want to jump on here real quick. And if you're new, my name is Rene and I make bags, purses, backpacks, wallets, and quilts. I'm not a quilter, but I have made some quilts. And recently I'm getting into the quilting, the Boxy bag and quilting tote bags and that type of thing. Really loving that, enjoying that. It's kind of relaxing, kind of getting off the vinyl and the faux leather and all that stuff. Even though I do enjoy that and I've made many. But anyways, I want to jump on here and show you the Christmas gifts that I've made for Christmas this year and give you some Christmas gift ideas that are easy and cheap and stocking stuffer ideas that are easy and cheap. So the first thing I want to show you is my nephew's requested shaving kits. So what's a shaving kit? It's a Boxy bag. So I made them out of faux leather, vinyl, and I did heat transfer vinyl for the G, which shows you they're Georgia Bulldogs. They both got one, exactly the same, except I did a red tab for one and a black tab for the other so they can tell them the difference. And I did waterproof canvas on the inside, red waterproof canvas. They're already filled with stuff. My youngest daughter bought the stuff to fill in as their gift. So those are easy and simple and quick. That's my whole thing, easy, simple, and quick. So I did that for my nephews. And then for my brother-in-law and my father-in-law, I did moon dance. Now for the pattern for the Boxy bags, there's so many patterns out there. You just pick which one you like. So just research it and look. I wrote down which one is down in my little notes for to keep. And there's just different ones. So you pick which one you like. But anyways, I did the moon dance, the largest size they have. And of course I did heat transfer, personalized it with heat transfer vinyl. Of course, my husband's whole family went to the University of Georgia, except for the younger son went to a private Christian school, but he's still a Georgia fan. And they all live in Georgia. So here's the inside. Simple and easy. I did not edge coat it. I did sand it down to make it softer. And this is for my brother-in-law. Now my father-in-law ones, I messed up and somehow I made it larger than it's supposed to be. And so I had to cut it down and sew it back together. It still looks good. Easy, simple, moon dance by Sincerely Jen. I'll put the links down below. Then for this year, for the girls in the family, I made sweatshirts. Now I got my sweatshirts from jiffy.com, Jiff.com, of course, link down below. And I didn't do the comfort color because those are expensive. But these are 50% poly and 50% cotton. So they're still very soft. I prefer these over what I bought at Hobby Lobby. And they're very soft. And so my youngest daughter, my grandchildren call her Aunt Lala. So I made her Aunt Lala. And these are all oversized. They all want them all oversized to wear with leggings. So they're ginormous. And they do their, what do you call it? When it's both for male and female, gender, whatever it is. Anyways, I think they run a little big because they're for male too. So anyways, these are all, this is extra large and it's big. Made that one for my youngest. And then I have a new daughter-in-law, love her to death. And I made her this one. She loves coffee like I do, so it's running on coffee and Jesus. And I originally put just this on there, and I felt like it needs something more, so I put the cross up top, and then I did the coffee, which this is a 3-step process, and I think it turned out pretty good. I just felt like it, you know, that one little part with this big old sweatshirt need a little more. Then for my sister-in-law, she's the one that suggested, oops, knocking everything over. She's the one that suggested sweatshirts this year. I was going to do that last year, but my tool just nixed it. But this year I'm going to do it. I did it. So this is for her. That's heat transfer vinyl. All this is heat transfer vinyl so far. And for my mother-in-law. And then this is for my oldest. This is very popular these days with the young popes. You know you're old when you say young people. Anyway, so I did heat and bond on this. I put it on the fabric, each fabric, a little square, enough for the letter. And then I cut out my silhouette cameo, and then I ironed them on, and then I zigzag stitched around each one. And I used just, I don't remember what font I used. It was on my silhouette that I have, one of my fonts. And my other sister-in-law, she doesn't wear sweatshirts. So I have what they call Unpaper towels. And it's just 100% cotton flannel, and you use them instead of paper towels. And she ranted and raved about them a couple months ago when they were here. And so I thought, well, I'll make her a roll of that. So I made her a roll of those Unpaper towels. Let me see if I have, oh, here's one I have. It's just like a 10 by 10 or a 12 by 12. This one's kind of raggedy. And I just serged around the edge. Of course, this one's been used a lot. And also, which I didn't give her yet because we shared a little bit at Thanksgiving, and now we're going to have more at Christmas. But she didn't know she was going to be here at Christmas, so I went ahead and gave her the paper towel, Unpaper towels. But if she comes Christmas, I'm making her a wet bag out of this. I can't remember this fabric, what it's called. I don't know, I have to look it up. But I got this from Joann's years ago because I made my Unpaper towels years ago. And it doesn't, the wetness doesn't go through. So I'm going to make her a wet bag so she can just stuff, when you use them, rinse them out, just throw them in the wet bag. And then when they're through with them, wash them all. That's what I do anyway. So those are some of my gift ideas. I got all this done. I had surgery on the 18th of November. And so I had to get it all done before then because it's a 6-week recovery. I'm good. I'm in my 3rd week and I'm good. Anyway, so another thing is I had been researching cup cozies because they're very popular right now. And there's not a pattern out there, or there wasn't, until Jen with Minnie in the Mountains created one. And so I bought her pattern. There's 3 sizes. Go get her pattern. And I didn't even know what kind of fabric it was that they were made out of. Well, it's called neoprene. I'll put it down below. This is not neoprene, even though on this website I bought it from, it says neoprene, but it's not. And I'll explain that in a bit. But this is what neoprene looks like. It's thicker and it's black on the inside. So that's how you know it's neoprene. And it's much thicker. This is much softer than this. And I really, this you can do on domestic. This you probably have to do on a industrial. I don't know. I didn't try it on my thing, but it's so thick. What the difficult part is when you switch from the round to go up, this part right here is the difficult part. And then keeping it together to go all the way up. And the neoprene keeps it warm, keeps it cold, and keeps it from sweat coming off on your table. This will do the same thing, but you have to use 2 fabrics. And Jen explains it all in her video once you buy the pattern. And you use heat and bond stretch to put the 2 fabrics together. And then you sew them together as one. And then you just do like we do when we do binding on our purses. And this is reversible. So you can have Christmas trees. And last night I used one for ice water, for my glass ice water. And I tried it with this. I bought these from Amazon, because I wanted to see the difference. And I tried one of these with my glass, and then I tried this with my glass. And this didn't sit as steady as this did. And I really like the feel of this better. It still keeps it from sweating. It still keeps it cold or hot. It's just, I like it better than these. And these, I did get these for, what did I get them for? 3 of them for either $10 or $12. And the websites, the girls I'm following, are selling one for like $9.99. So if you sell these for $5, you've made your money back plus more. You can sell them for a little more probably because they're reversible. Anyway, I love this. And here, I got it from, it's called Pip's Supply, I believe. And she has different ones. And she calls it neoprene, even though it's not neoprene. But it comes in strips, comes in half yards or yards. And I did the strips because I wanted more, more prints, because she's got some really pretty prints. And the thing with the strips is you'll have to put together 2 pieces and stitch them together and then cut out the pattern. But you know what? When I looked at this one right here, they did the same thing. They had to put 2 fabrics together to make the larger size. And you have to have a machine that does zigzag. And this is done, this you do on domestic. You might be able to do that on a domestic, but it's pretty thick. And my zigzag needs to be larger. So I don't know if you can see it. It's very small. And then on the side, it's not very neat. But I think it's passable. So this is for me anyway. So anyways, here are some of the prints. Of course, we got the Christmas tree and we got this Christmas one on this side, which I love. So it's 2 fabrics and they come in strips like this, like 4-inch strips, but they're longer. I put 2 together. This I got for fall. I did one for a couple for my daughter. Now, my daughter uses mason jars for her iced coffee in the mornings. And so these don't fit the mason jars. But there's a pattern by Pin Cut Sew, and I'll put the link down below, that does for mason jars. And so I made her for mason jars, and I used this fabric. But Pin Cut Sew doesn't use this. She uses cotton and batting. So, but I like this. You can use this with her fabric. It's just, you have to finagle it a little bit. So that's one print. And then this is a very popular print, the cherries with the little daisies. And then this is a real popular print with fabric and everything that these girls are making the boxy bags and the totes and everything with, is the gingham cherries. Love that. And then I got a checkered gingham blue. I thought a guy would like that maybe. And this one I got for a guy too is the plaid green. See how pretty these are? They're just so pretty. And then I got a gingham or checkered red. So you can use it all year long instead of just Christmas. He has all kinds, floral and everything. I mean, I love them all. So I got the strips. You'll just have to sew them together to do the different sizes. The small size, you won't have to sew them together, but the larger sizes, you'll have to sew them together. So those make also great stocking stuffers because they're soft and you can bend them and stuff them down in the stocking. I like them a lot better than the neoprene. Now the neoprene has great zigzag stitching. It's much larger, so I'll have to work on that. So that was one of my stocking stuffers. And then you can also do, which I love this pattern, is the Brook Bifold by Lene's Handmade. And just love these. Easy to put together. I did do edge coding on this. I need to file this a little more and redo it. But you don't have to. I just tried it. I didn't do it on this one. Here's one I did. Same thing on the inside. This one. I had all the supplies except for, excuse me, the little black thing, and you can order those, or you can go to Walmart and get some. There's one I did in the back. I'm going to do one. I need a red one that's, I have, what do you call it? It's shiny fabric. What do you call that? Patent leather. I have some patent leather vinyl that I made a purse out of for Christmas years ago, and I love using it. I use it really all year long, but it really goes at Christmas, and I want to make it out of this to match. So this is one. Great little stocking stuffers because they can fit into the stocking. Great ideas. Easy to put together. You don't have to edge coat them, and that's a great idea for stocking stuffer. And then another great idea, these are very popular now, is key wristlet wallets. I didn't follow a pattern. I just made, this is 5 inches across and 4 inches high, and just did a little bag, a little pouch, and attached this. Now I will say, there's lots of tutorials out there. This is 1 inch wide, but to me, you have to add glue on this side, not the side that has the prongs. On the inside, you need to add some glue. I use super glue. And because you don't want these coming apart, and you got your credit cards and your money in here, so, and they do come apart if you don't do that. So I made this one. This is fabric I already had. I did different fabrics on the inside. Here's another one. I've had this fabric for a long time. Did peach on the inside. This fabric. Now I made these two nameplates out of vinyl I had because I didn't have any name tags that matched these, so I made them myself. And I just I put Decaville Heavy on the back and of the vinyl, and I did heat press my name onto there. So those are stocking stuffer ideas. Also, I made myself a little trash bin out of a placemat. These are Pioneer Women placemats. I don't know if they're still available. I've had these placemats for a long time. But you can I make it a little thing to hang on a hook down here so I can just throw my thread in there. But you can make it a trash can for your car and just make a longer hoop that can go around your car seat thing. What I did is just a rectangle, sewed it together on the sides, and then I just sewed down the corners to the bottom on each side, and that made it more square. And you don't have to line it or anything because it's already quilted and already reversible. So that is my little trash can. That you can also bend and stuff into a stocking or make it as a gift. And then bowl cozies. I know I'm late to the party on this, but I made a bunch of these. Not a bunch, I made a couple of these. And they're selling like $7 a piece. And I made 3 of them. Those would be great gifts to sew. Then, which you've already seen, these are great gifts. To call them makeup bags, but one girl I watched said that when she called them makeup bags, they didn't sell. But when she called them everything bags, they sold. And so there's the inside of that one. I love this. I love that purple. The younger people, you're old. The young folks really like these. And I did the pink. I had all this on hand, except for I did go buy some of the inside fabric. It's all cotton. It's just a regular Boxy bag. Tons of free tutorials and patterns out there that you can do. Now, my mother-in-law, I have one more to sew. And now that I can get back to sewing, she wants I told her I was making book sleeves and iPad Kindle sleeves and whatever. And she said she wants one that she can carry. So I'm going to make her one of these. I didn't use a pattern. I just measured this is a nook inside here. I just measured it and added extra and added the zipper. It's really just a pouch type thing. I quilted it first. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to reinforce the sides and I'm going to put grommets and make her a little handle where she can carry hers instead of carrying it like this. But that's easy peasy. Once you learn how to make pouches, easy peasy. You just get the measurements, add a little bit extra. And those are my ideas. Did I get everything? I think I did. I also made, I made these stockings years ago for our family. And one year I couldn't find my stocking. I don't know why. And so I made extra one. Well, then later on I found it. So I had 2 with my name on it. Well, I have a new daughter-in-law and I got to add her to our stocking collection. And so this was all embroidered. And so I took out the embroidery on one of my names and I heat transferred her name onto this because I didn't want to take apart the whole stocking. And so I just took the side apart and to get the all the stitching out. And I did a heat transfer vinyl with red for her name. This isn't her name. This is my oldest daughter's. and now she has one. But this year I want to make, not right now, but I'm going to make new stockings because I'm a little tired of these. You know I like them. I'm a little tired. So those are my ideas. I hope it gives you some things to think about and some ideas to make quick and easy. And I'll put all the links down below. If I don't see you before Christmas or talk to you before Christmas or do a video before Christmas, I hope you have a wonderful Christmas and I'll see you soon.